everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's NC Bowhunk 42, and today I'm going to talk about, it's a hot topic. I've seen it being discussed a lot in other people's videos, and I figure I'll kind of give my 2 cents to anybody who really cares. But I think it's something that affects us all, and it is the price gouging that seems to be going on with the Haslab. As many of you know, the price of these things have just keep going up, up and up and up, and a lot of it has to do with inflation. And a lot of it has to do with buying power. It's they're taking advantage of what you, I, and every other collector is willing to pay. Don't get me wrong. I think there is a market for these type of things, these big ticket items. I have a Razor Crest. I completely supported it. It was the $350 price range. I also supported the Ghostbusters Proton Pack at $400. But this charger, the Hell Charger, for $350 with the tiers set so high for what we unlock is just, I can't be okay with it. And I certainly hope that I'm not the only one. Going on Hasbro's site, it's been clear that people have been dropping out of this thing. And I think that it's really our time to kind of show them that, like, you know, we're just not some mindless drones that are just shelling out cash for things. It's a very rough time to have this hobby with just the market and the inflation. I mean, they're essentially going to be pricing collectors out. Now, the charger does come with electronics and light up effects. That's something the Razor Crest didn't have that I wish it did. And then on the plus side of it, it does have a lot of accessories with just the base launch, for display purposes. Is it really worth the $350 for that? I don't think so, because I don't even think the Ghost Rider figure looks that good. And you could tell they are trying to salvage this. This is going to be the Rancor 2.0 if they don't fix it. And so they started real high and saying, hey, if everybody jumps on board within the first week, we'll give you this Robbie Reyes figure. On top of that, then they did Mephisto at that 12,000 tier. And, three figures in the car for $350, and then, like, just showing from the promo pictures, there's no accessories, there's no effects. I mean, you couldn't throw in anything extra. And then when they realized that they set that too high, they made up a tier called Tier 0, which has never been done in a Haslab before, for the Madeline Pryor figure, just to try to get people to try to buy back into it. And I think that their greed has kind of shot them in the foot, and they are trying to unscrew themselves as best they can. And when you look at historically, like with the Sentinel, it was a $350 price tag is what it was at. It just, everybody knew that this thing was going to go, and the tiers were set real low. So by the time this thing had 16,000 backers or whatever it was, it was locked in, and I think it was probably one of the highest selling. Obviously it was one of the highest selling Haslabs, but it was a home run out of the park. And my guess would be that Hasbro saw that, we need to set this thing higher to try to milk as much money out of it as we can. And, you got a lot of great accessories with it. And then moving into Galactus, you saw the $50 price bump. And they said that, well, you know what, it's more plastic, more price. But they gave you, light up effects in this. They gave you more articulation. And then this really was like, 32 inches, so a little under 3 feet. This is a massive, massive figure for $400. It's the size of a toddler, right? And then on top of that, you got several different heads that you can interchange. And then they even dropped figures with accessories, heralds for Galactus. You have all of these, and a Silver Surfer that, if those who've been in the game a while remember, the Walgreens one was highly sought after, hard to find. Well, they essentially re-released it in this with effects. Very cool. Figures with effects, like, these things matter, and they just don't. I don't know. It's like they see what we're willing to do, and then they push the price higher, and they do less. So I'm interested to see what you guys are going to do. I can't get on board with this, just knowing that whatever actions I take now are going to dictate probably what Hasbro is going to do in the future. And I don't want to see these things keep going up to where nobody can enjoy them. So I kind of think you should, the hard lines being drawn. I'm going to pass, hopefully with maybe other collectors kind of doing the same thing and this thing not going to production, Hasbro will kind of come off that high horse and realize that like they're just not going to be able to milk everybody for every dime that they have. And I urge everybody, do your homework. Go look at some other videos for other people's thoughts on the subject. There's a lot of good videos out there. People with some really good insight. And, just look at historically with Hasbro and some of their other lines that they've released, like with the Black Series. We've had 112 vehicles with the Black Series for years. The TIE Fighter was kind of a flop, a great piece if you could have the space for it. But even when that came out, it was $200, and it was clearanced out at most places towards the end of its run for like $50. Same thing with the Snow Speeder and the Land Speeders and everything else that they came out with that line. So to me, there's no reason why this Charger shouldn't be any more than $150. That being said, with the other figures that they're trying to dangle out there, as carrots in the tiers, exclusive figures and chase figures are a thing of the past where, avid collectors would run around to Walgreens or things that were Target or Walmart or wherever. They're now being re-released. So that's a positive thing that they're willing to re-release figures. That's about all I got, guys. I really appreciate you taking the 7 minutes to listen to my rant and my insight on this. I'd like to hear what you guys think, so drop a comment below. Always, I invite you to like, subscribe, and until next time, keep collecting.